Good morning, everybody out there. This is Lady Hippy at the bar. I did see something about some lights. Somebody was using a webcam and they were talking about they needed more lights. And I'm using a dimmer, which speaks volumes. I hope everybody out there is having a great day. It goes by so quick these days. I don't understand them either. But that's all right. I'm good with that. I got to make sure we're being held here at my expense because I can't tell. That's what I'm missing. Maybe I should have had coffee today after all. Want to try that again, or did you like the comedic part of that? Podcaster forgets to turn on headphones. There you are. Hi, guys. Yeah, that helps out a lot. It's bad enough we're looking at a screen and we're talking to ourselves, but I'm trying not to slide over that very close edge of into complete idiocy. Excuse me. I hope I haven't caught any of that creep that everybody else has caught already. Try not to see any mess. I know I can see my couch and things from here. And there's a cat bed and a couple of Christmas boxes I haven't put away. Um, Still under the weather. Can't figure out what that's about, but that's cool enough. Get done what we got to get done. I've been watching Cat Williams all morning. He's just one of my favorites, especially from the 80s. And back when I used to be out more. He was always my favorite old cat. And I hadn't even realized I had missed him that much, but I hadn't seen television a lot until the 21st century. And he's kind of coming back. Apparently, he had been on more or less the hiatus, but I'm not sure what that's about. I'm just glad to see him. So I was playing the best of cat this morning. I couldn't stop laughing. It took me 4 hours to get makeup on. No, that's not Cat's fault. It's just Bondo takes a while to set. I'm hoping that others, again, for entertainment purposes only, will see that I've got my own podcast because I can't get a hold of everyone, and not everyone has time to do so. I'm still trying to shove the algorithms over 1,000, guys. Any of y'all see this? Please throw a like in there. You could subscribe for me. Oops. Or that's good. I could just burn myself to pieces. If, I'm in one of those mornings. Let me try that again. Hit the like button. Just hit the like button. There's got to be more of us hippies out there. And I've yet to meet a hippie that was unintelligent. That's a fun thing that I like is that they underestimate both size and brain matter, usually to their detriment. At least with me, it is. It's never going to come out well. I find dirty. I haven't fought for a while lately, so I'd definitely be dirty now. Don't you know I needed this like a hole in the head? Reminds me of Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and all them in Reno. God, they were funny. And I was actually watching some of that, and I laughed until my stomach hurt, and I finally said I got to change this because I couldn't take it anymore. So today I didn't want it to be such a heavy broadcast. I wanted to say, "Hey guys, everything the world's all right." I lie. Well, I'm told anyway. I'm trying to throw this one in the can as fast as possible because apparently the cats that we have rescued and brought inside are starting an insurrection. I'm going to have to get a hold of Congress, see what that means. I'll put some little cowboy hats on. I saw this tiny little M16 this girl I had gotten. I don't know what she had for, but it actually worked. Had a little blows with it. I want one. I want to sling around each one of my cats. They be ready. Could you imagine breaking into a house where all the cats have these little M14s, M60s, whatever they are? They look to me more like M16s, but it was funny as it could be. But she was using it. I wanted it for the cats. It would make me pause. I'll put. just swallowed something and finally decided I took my medications and it kind of got stuck. Everybody's done that. And I have to take so many a day that every third one seems to get stuck. So excuse me, that was giving me a little bit of a problem there. I wanted to talk to everybody about the newest UFO stuff that was going on at the Miami Mall. Now, I have watched as much footage as I can find on that, and there's a lot of it. There's people running. It's just people running. A couple of them. So, oh, look at that channel. That's one of them. And I'm like, wait, it's done. I didn't see nothing. And I went through, like I said, tons of these, especially the ones that said they got, you know, proof. They got a picture. If there was a shadow out there, I don't know, it would have stood out as far as I'm concerned, because all of Miami PD and 3 or 4 other surrounding cities had descended on that mall. So they don't do that for just nothing. So I don't believe their cover story either. Something happened there. People said that what looked like, and people watch Stargate. They do remember these things. And I love Stargate, the movie and the series. And of course, MacGyver played the general. And I just love him. Richard Dean, I can't think of his name. In any event, I'm looking at these and I'm slowing them down, and they're slowing them down. And I'm like, it's just a lot of flashing lights from the police cars. What shadow? I didn't get it. And I had seen 3 or 4 of them where they said, "Oh, I see it. I see it." But I know I have a problem because I have artificial lenses in my eyes now. I used to be hazel, and now I have these bright green eyes. It's really weird. It's like I'm wearing contacts or something. When you're not thinking about how you get out the shower, you wipe the mirror off, and you pitch towel and everything, and I'm looking in, I'm like, who the heck are you? What'd you do to my eyes? Because I literally have this vivid green now eyes, and my eyes have always been fairly muted. It's because I was usually PO'd all the time and overworked. I kind of like it so far, the retirement thing. The entire house has to be cleaned, but I'm retired, so like things have not changed. The only thing that's changed is Robert gets work quicker, and I have more work because he said, "You know I'm right, ladies. You know I'm right." He's a good husband, but I swear sometimes I call him Pigpen off the old Charles uh, comedy with Peanut. And yeah, he reminded me that the character Pigpen had the little dust cloud around it whenever he moved, and he does. My thing is that every room I go into, I want to leave it cleaner than I walked in. I might spend 30 seconds putting this away, picking that up, whatever. And then I walk into the second room and go, oh crap, that one part of my brain that just dissolves into hysterical giggles because I said, oh, I could do this. These guys are fun. Never a dull day. Yeah, I'll be here all week. I have too much fun doing this. My granddaughter and them, I hadn't actually caught myself on television. I may have said that yesterday, but the night before yesterday, anyway, I had caught myself on television, and I called my husband down and said, see, it's still me. But again, people are like, how can you sit there and just talk to 20 people the way you do? It's like, 20 is good. They went, no, 20 million. I'm like, oh, the million thing's a little different. I got to have a hat for that. Yes, I'm in a mood, as everyone knows, and can sing. And yes, I do have my vapor. Promised my husband. Try to keep those promises a little bit. A little bit. So I hope everybody is having a bang up day out there. If you do see me, I'm also, again, trying to go and post this on Facebook. Half the time I can't post. I get a lot of too much content and stuff, and I just don't have time to really edit them lately. I don't know, it's just been crazy, and then falling ill again. So I'm just about on my feet. But if I know me, if I go and do everything I need to get done, I'll be off my feet again. So there's really no point in that. But I do want to make sure I'm here every day but Sunday. And even though I'm live streaming at the moment, so if you are watching, you can talk to me live. If you're not comfortable with that, you can wait. It'll still be up on YouTube. Just search out Lady Hippy at the bar. And Hippy's with a Y. I see people spelling it with an IE. We always spelled it with a Y. So yes, I'm a real hippie. We had a lot of fun. I'm sorry that this generation doesn't get to do a quarter of what we did, and it was legal. It's not like we were doing anything illegal, but running around a skateboard, getting up on that slide, and going down 18 feet while your legs burn up. Watching your friends on those swings, those little rubber things in the middle. See which one of them can get over the top and back around. All us girls are standing up there going, one of them gonna fall. Which one do you want to bet go fall? I'm going with Ricky. He kind of stupid. He's had 2 beers. He's going. He was older than we were. And of course, thank the Lord, it never did happen. But I don't know how it didn't. Now, we women, we swang and we enjoy going fairly high, but I wasn't putting that puppy over any bar. It was nope, I'm a gymnast and I know that does not have an ending that's going to come out well. So good luck with that. I'll watch you do it. And we have so many things that we could do, but nowadays they count it as a lethal weapon. Kind of hard to go outside and play when by the time you're 8, 9, 10, even say 12, 13, we were always at the park as I was growing up, right into our teenage years. That worked for me, a bunch of other things, but that's where everybody ganged up. Because by the time we were, older teenagers, the parents sure as hell didn't want us around. So we did a lot of hanging out at the park. And they take these things away from these kids that are tranquilizing them to death. My poor granddaughter, she's running around, she's got a tablet in her hand, and you look over and the parents have a phone in their hand, and you look at her grandson and he's got his phone in his hand with his friend and his friend's father, who he just met that night here this Christmas. They've all got their faces in you can see them well though. That's a good light. My son wasn't that rude. I did teach him some manners, and he was doing most of the cooking. And then Brandy would run over and do her thing, his wife. Now them, I can understand doing that. They have to pretty much check in. They run their divisions, and God, what I would have done for that! I only had a home phone, and they wore that off the wall. Almost all of my jobs, I came home with a briefcase completely full of work that I had to do after I did dinner and dishes and so forth. And I do that work, and then I could go prep for tomorrow morning and maybe get 3 hours sleep. So that was fun. I love that part. Again, what was the other thing I was asked recently? Oh yeah, where were my wrinkles? What color did I dye my hair from or to? Something along that line. And was my true age 60 something? There was a fourth one I can't recall now, but I've stated before, but I'll state it again. You can't see a lot of I have strawberry blonde hair, so it's red and blonde kind of mixed. So I got fortunate there because the race kind of just mixed in. Now the rest of me looks every inch of 65, which I'll be in August. But no, I've never dyed the hair. Uh, Eyelashes, all that stuff's real. All the weight's real. I have to buy none of that. I forget what the other one was. Oh, wrinkles. And it could be the fat thing. Actually, no, L'Oreal, Revlon, a few of them. I'm going to have to try them out and thank them. I've been using facial cream since my middle 20s. It was something that one of my cousins, an older girl, told me was to make sure to hydrate the face and especially under eyes and stuff twice a day, morning and night, because it would help in the long run. And she was quite a beauty. She'd also help me with makeup. I didn't even begin to wear makeup until I was 18. So yeah, I had the Girl Scout look down pat. So, but I used her advice, and I've not been sorry at all. I haven't done the hair dye or anything because the adopted mother looked at me, and she used to do a thing called pin curling, and I don't know if people know what that is. But you take a little tiny piece of hair, and you wind it up like that in a curl, and then you push it down, and you put it by your pin this way, you put it by your pin that way, and then you go to sleep. Yes, that's fun to go to sleep. But let me tell you, oh my God. And you get up and you have an afro. I'm not sure that anyone appreciated those, but we we finally got away from them, we girls. But our mother, of course, that was pretty much her perm, and that's what she had done all her life. And so I would, when I got older, I would help her do that. And I said at one point, "Mom, your hair is thinning." I think she was in her late 60s then. I just, your hair is thinning, right? Is there another way maybe we could get it cut and style a different way? She wouldn't go to hair salon. And it was, no, it's fine. I know about all that. Go ahead. While you're doing that, I'll tell you why it's doing that. Okay. Okay, and you know why, and it's still happening. First thing I want to know when I found out, it was like, I can fix this. I know I can fix. And it was, the answer was, I had my hair dyed a lot. I had a lot of permanents put in, and when I realized that my hair was very damaged, it took a couple of months. I had most of it cut off, and it took several months to grow back, but it's never been the way it was. And she said a lot of that is age, but a lot of it is dyes and so forth that are very different nowadays. But I advise you to never have one because, again, it's a chemical. And again, I took her advice and said, okay, I'm not dyeing it. And again, I get lucky because it's strawberry blonde, the blonde and red. And so people are seeing, unless they're right on top of me in a very good light, you wouldn't catch on that it was gray. If I'm in a really good light, yeah, you could tell. That the wrinkles kind of show it more. They say I don't have that many, and that's very nice. But yeah, I do. I earned them. I don't care. I, I did notice. I must say, um, my son will be 45 this year, and my grandson 25, and me at 65. We're all 20 years apart. And I mean, they look fine. They look their age and everything. And I'll take a look at some of Robert's family photos that he took. He just went to their reunion last year. And several of them wanted to talk to me on the phone. It was very touching. I found that very nice because I wouldn't have thought, as I've said before, I pretty much took over those people. And so, he went on out to do the reunion and that came out real well. And I didn't go because I got lucky and didn't have to. Get down from there. Now, see, you're going to distract me from whatever it was I was going to tell y'all now. I don't know if I can remember. At this age, it just goes poof. Oh, yes, we were talking about women hair. In any event, they have things out now for that too. Keratin. Yeah, I think it's called keratin. I looked it up under Mr. Edgar Casey. Yeah, he had a hair treatment, and actually, bald people testified to it when they had their whole head of hair in. That he had been right in what they did. It was noticed that crude oil workers, back in the early days of oil, and they had those gushers and all this other stuff out there, and they always had this oil in their hair. And they all died with this huge head of hair. And they said, wait, I th-, and they caught on. After probably about 15, 20 years, they caught on. And Brill Cream, I think, was their first attempt at moisturizing and hair. Did a good job, Brill Cream did. I thought my dad had a shock of white hair that I'd have been proud to own at 30. It was good. It was, so yeah. I can't. I don't know how better to answer that question. Um, I really don't. I've had an exemplary life and a good one. Enjoyed most of it, like everybody else. Yeah, there's a couple of days like that. But I've been a lucky person, a lucky mom, a lucky grandma. And of course, my cat may die today because she's sending stuff off this bar. I have to put this at a certain jet stream or she'll just blink at you. Like, okay, it's what? Is that supposed to move me? I said, oh, these cats have us trained. We don't have, that's not the other way around. No, 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 no. No, that's not it. No, not at all. I was watching all that about the Miami Mall. Guys didn't see one. And I was very disappointed because I have researched these shadow man sightings for years now, probably about 10 or 15 years. I've investigated the paranormal since I was 9, so we'll put it a few decades to be kind. Back when your typewriter was manual and you had 3 channels and they were free. Yeah, yeah, the rabbit ear thing. No, this, yeah, we have one of those. Wonder why the kids was outside. You want to watch some? Want to watch some soap operas? No. You want to watch some baseball? No. Want to watch Sesame Street? I'll be outside. So now they've added more and more and more things, but they're so politically correct. They're completely uninteresting. They're, you know, one of the things I love about Cat Williams, that boy don't have no filter. He's just funny. I mean, every time he takes his a breath and opens that man's mouth, he has got me rolling in the aisles. He's so funny, and I love the fact that he's also a give back. If he shares back to his communities, if he and I mean in ways where they don't know it was him. And I believe there's a whole lot out there that have been assisted by Cat Williams that have no idea. I know one man was going to lose everything, had his kids with him in a hotel, and yet he got to do a skit with Cat. Cat gets his own comedians to go with him. Cat does the last hour, I believe. In any event, he this is a local comedian, but he didn't have a steady job. He didn't have a steady work as a comedian even, and he was good from what I understood when I looked him up. And as he was leaving and driving away, somebody yelled something, and a package flew in. And his friend are going, huh? And then his friend had noticed it was Cat Williams that threw it and ran off. And so they were honest. They said, "Oh, we thought we got us something else in there, and that might improve their mood." And it was all taped up. It was cloth. It was all taped up, and they finally get in it, and Cat had thrown in $15,000. And he went back. He tried to find Cat, tried and tried. I know that he teared up about it. So this was not only um, a lifesaver to a drowning man. This was an act of kindness that was almost beyond his belief, as he put it. And that was just one of the stories. And I know Keanu Reeves does stuff like that too. And helps homeless people and stuff. So there are a few shining angels still here. And Cat just happens to be brilliantly funny. And I love Bernie Mac. I broke my heart when Bernie left so early. And he was telling in the locker room some younger comedians, never let other comedians hear your best joke. He said, that's like stealing in front of the police. I was like, actually, I think we get away with that now, but I have to be in Seattle or somewhere. So I wanted to be again lighthearted today in the hopes that somebody wants to come to the bar. Yeah, God knows if tomorrow's a given or not. You know what? I mean, is it? There's an absolute advantage to having a bar in your house. Hmm. Might not have been a good idea before we retired, but we retired. It works in beautifully. Absolutely, it makes the whole bottom fly. I love it. Absolutely adore it. Adore having somebody to wait on me. I don't have to pay. Hit the like bell for heaven's sake. I did find and three actually. My granddaughter wants me to interview her. She's to me, she is so funny and so intelligent. I'm not sure what I would talk about with her, but she wants to do it. And like me, this is what I am doing. I'm not out there going, I'm a paranormal channel or I'm a UFO channel or, whatever. I'm anything and everything. Whatever it is you want to talk about, be a religion, be it the Geneva Bible, the Quran, I don't care. Pick one, con. That's all you got to do. Come. Feel me? Put some comments in there. Throw the like button. I mean, it's a good bar, but for heaven's sake, I'm going to get thrown out of here before I get to be in this big a bar town. I know that's right, too, man. I'll tell you what. It's hard to believe that we're already almost in the third month of 2024. I keep saying these things out loud because I'm sure I'm asleep. I'm going to wake up and it's 97. It's amazing how fast you go from 45 to 65. It's the blink of an eye. Don't never let nobody tell you no different. You wake up 65. Somebody done took 20 years. No memory of it. So you're absolutely positive something's not right, but you're not sure what it is. And that's how I felt. I was like, and every morning when I wake up and I'm getting the shower and I come out, I look in the mirror and I go, yeah, yep, I'm still okay. Just was hoping this was a dream. I still haven't got it right. Sometimes I have to take those glasses off. These new lenses that they put in, which was wonderful surgery. I woke up on the second surgery, and they were done at 8 weeks apart. And I'm having some trouble with them. And I had to cancel my last optometrist appointment because everything in God was going wrong. Sorry, Lord. I mean, it was just one of those days where you go, what next, Locust? And we were afraid to say that because I was like, no, shit myself in that. Well, I mean, the whole world was like that, though. It was just nuts. January was one of the craziest months I've yet to really see. And again, I think that was those camels floating. I can't lose that. I mean, just I'm trying to figure out a way to put that in as maybe my signature or something. Or I could be doing like Bernie Mac and saying the best thing that I could try, and I just gave it away. But it's got to be something out there, guys. We're all baby boomers. We're all may not be hippies, but I don't think we're far from it. You know, uh, reach out, guys. Let's reach out to each other. Like there's all those truck drivers out there. I can't, I can't reach them unless they're on and they're in live chat with me, and then I could, we could talk, yell, whatever. Yeah. So everybody, in order to see me and for me to see you, you got to go to YouTube, hit search. Unless I already have one up and you see me, then you'll know. But if you can't see me, do your YouTube, hit the search and put in Lady Hippy with a Y at the bar. Usually it'll pull up when you put Hippy with a Y. And you go, hey, that girl I saw last week. Somebody cut her off. Can't do it. I have my own bar. Oh my goodness, the parties I would have thrown back in my 30s. And again, I apologize. My eyes do this once in a while. And of course, it, that's the other thing I just love about ophthalmologists. You'll say, well, they're kind of giving me a little bit of a fit. Sometimes they just kind of tear up. And I have 3 little bottles I have to use twice a day as it is, eye drops, and for the rest of my life. And so I'm not real happy with that anyway. And it's, well, you wear makeup, but I'm like, and your point? Seriously, what was I wearing when you saw me? Oh, yeah, makeup. You still surprised? I showered today too. Idiots. Mm-mm-mm. But I've not been really excited to go back. A lot of the problem I'm finding on my new glasses is that blurs out at distance, and so, and I don't. Robert doesn't buy me the cheap pair of glasses. Mine have everything on, and now they have to because of the surgeries. But he's always made sure that they were, they help with the computer because I'm always looking at a computer screen, and that I had the transitions because I was always tossing 3 or 4 sunglasses in the air like I was jungling. Let me juggle this one. I'll see if I've worn it this year. So you got the transition, so I don't have to go off and on. But believe it or not, I still have like 20 pair of sunglasses, so I go back and forth. But they end up being expensive. Um, the VA pays for only so much, basic glasses and their frames, and I can't do it. I just can't do it. So he gets whatever pair that I like, and I usually ask him to come over and take a look with me. He usually hides in the corner. So, and I like these and the frames, everything, and they won't even let me change. I said, why can't you just change out the glasses? Let me keep the frames. I like the frames. Oh, we can't do that. Yeah, you could. We can't. Yeah, you can. No, you can't. Well, if you say you can't, you can, but you can. It's almost like the whole Abbott Costello joke. Who's on first? What's on second? I love that joke. I never get it right. At some point today, I keep telling myself I have to rest. I'm not going to get better without much rest. Uh, Baby doll, my husband, he uh, when we went and did all this other stuff, and again, I got sick because I went out and went shopping, a normal thing. And now I'll be ill for 4 or 5 days. It's getting to be absurd. But we went and got some things, and he had been wanting some breakfast tacos, and I used to make those all the time. But I had gotten out of the habit of cooking because it was just me, basically. And when he was home, he'd get takeaway or something because he just didn't have time. So and now he cooks. And I'm loving that part. I mean, I'm not a good cook. I don't like to cook. Uh, Even my own son says the same thing. Moms don't get mom to cook it. you know, I was more of a go across the street when you get me a taco or whatever. Especially when I ran the 3 hospitals that were connected to UT. Health Science Center there in San Antonio. We had the VA on one side and the regular hospital on the other side. And I worked, I ran all 3 of them. I had them all connected to my division for gestational diabetes. And that was to do several years of research to put a book together so they could teach with this is getting to showing up to be your best and authentic self. And then, I could point this through an aluminum door if I wanted to hear it. If that would work. Turning it down a wee bit, not so much. Not so much. I'm constantly looking at my timer here. Now I know it's early today, and I think it's Saturday. I couldn't tell for sure. And I apologize again. My eyes just do that every once in a while. And I hated to tell the poor doc that he was wrong. It's not the makeup because it does it worse when I'm not wearing any. So, but I mean, I like to let them keep their little delusions. I don't want an extra bill in my box. So I was like, oh God, something else to send this to. Oh, what did you find? What do you find to talk about? And I was like, I just go up there and run on and hope that somebody saw it and say, hey, let's check her out. I'm hoping. We'll put it that way. When I wasn't watching Cat Williams this morning, and I was watching it on YouTube, I go over to my favorite sites. I have several favorite sites that do the whole find ghosts or abnormalities or paranormals, whatever you want to call it. And I watched one besides them all ones, which I mentioned earlier. I saw one, and I thought, oh, and they're the background voice, whoever it is that's dropped the video. And they're like, I'd be out of there. No, I haven't brave of that. And I'm like, oh, I'd be throwing holy water and a match behind me. There's only so much you can do with that place. The other thing was, well, serious to God. I mean, burn it to the ground, res it, throw salt on it, put up nuclear warning signs. I mean, get away from there. Some people really do kill me, and it is cute. The difference, I don't think of things because I'm a veteran. I think we're all the same color, and I'll never change that opinion. I thought that way before I was veteran. But in some things, it's a cultural thing, you know. It's like I think I remember who told the joke. Might have been Eddie Murphy. I love Eddie too, but it was you hear that pow pow pow, and white person get up there and go, somebody got anybody got the things for July the 4th? And then no, black folk are they gone. They crawled out their heads and he said went out the bathroom window. Y'all are asking are those firecrackers? How many of you died this week? But I do love all the comedies. And yesterday it just seemed like it just wasn't as much fun as it should be. And again, I reiterate the fact that this is social media. I want to use the crap out of it. They gave us the tool. They gave the hippies the tool. They gave the baby boomers the tool. I don't care which moniker they want to hang on me. They gave us a tool. Now, I've been here since manual typer. So I went through all these changes to get where we are today. And suddenly, in 70 years or 65 years, I think it was 65 years, that we went from horse and buggy to some dude on the moon. I still really want to know how much that call cost when President Nixon called them when they was on the moon, because you could even hear your neighbor next door on the phone where we were from. When they put the phone up there, when this came out, I mean, you still had your phone stuck to the wall, and your father probably added 15 more screws because somebody would get to be an idiot and be walk away talking. And if they didn't fly back with the phone still in their hand, the phone flew back and got the wall, the phone, then let go. I mean, it was still like that. And so they're talking to President Nixon, and I'm like, can we have a phone like that? I didn't have that many friends, but I thought that was really cool. Just weird little things that stick out in my mind from history. Um, and I did like the joke that I heard to take, and this would be my granddaughter, of course, was get a couple of them, put them in a room, put a rotary phone in there, write the directions for using it in cursive. It still cracks me up. I could have done that. I think my grandson's generation, and I know they had already started the printing. You cannot pay me to print. It takes me an hour longer to print that 4 list I've got for the grocery store. When I take I do shorthand sometimes, but we'll just go with writing this time. I'm in a minute and a half tops right now at the grocery. I'm printing it out, and I won't be able to go for 3 days because it'll take me that long to get the stupid thing printed out. Besides that, I wouldn't bother anyway. I go up and use one of the typewriters or the computer, the laptop, use one of the Chromebooks, a tablet. Hell, the phone. I mean, the only other thing I didn't like that came out recently that I saw was that they wanted to insert a chip on everybody and close the banks. That at least close the banks that are giving out money. Somehow that doesn't wash right with me either, but I'm going to go with that term. They don't want anyone to carry cash anymore, so they don't have to make any cash anymore. I don't know how that's going to work with some of those countries that are just like China, but that's, I'm not in the office, so what do I know? But they want us then to say, sure, take out my money, you keep it, put that little thingy in my hand. I love how they do this without any, no anesthesia, no nothing. The person's going, ow, 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 I beat somebody. So here, do this, and you access your right. Just wave your hand. You'll love it. And apparently, some of these countries have done so, and they love it. And that's just grand. They'd open their house door, they'd open the car, and they can start the car, and turn the oven on. I don't know what purpose that has, but the one I saw about it, the in-laws were coming over, and I had 40 minutes, and they had the Roomba. So I still think that's funny. I could just see the cat's paying with the little ticket going, me next. Little cat zooming around. Yes, this is probably why my parents had me tested as a child. I'm not completely considered crazy because they'd have to pay me. We wouldn't want that to happen. Hmm. So we did ghosts. We did some jokes. I don't want to go and even look at what was up with Ukraine or Israel today. This morning. I will get back to that. I just thought it'd be better to start my day off with some laughter instead of, oh God, they made it worse kind of thing, which was yesterday. And I didn't think it could get worse in some cases, but it actually got worse. Oh no, I think he forgot I was on live. That sounds like my husband. So if you see a very confused looking older man, that would be my husband who forgot I'm on live. And I still have, I see 21 minutes I'm supposed to fill. So You've been warned. Yeah, asked and answered, just to let you know. I was not actually going to do, and I probably am not today, going to put a whole hour in the can. I need you guys to like it so that I can get to my 1,000. Put down something, anything. I didn't like your topic today, or I don't like how you talk. You've got a terrible accent. I don't give a bloody fuck what you put on there. Throw something down there. Now I'll tell you how to get to the bar. I am a little bit funnier, I hope, today because it's been a really weird kind of couple of days again. And I think the reason that I'm having so much fun doing this morning, and I really put on one heck of a sweater, let me tell you. Outside, it might be necessary. Inside, it seems to be a bit warm in here. I may have to change later, which I really hate because once I've worn something, I don't care if it's 15 minutes and it goes in the wash. And most of mine are hand wash only. Luckily, the washing machine has a hand wash only compartment. You gotta love the 21st century, right? So I can chunk them in there and put my sweaters in there. I always had to do them by hand for years. You couldn't put a sweater in a washing machine from 1982. I mean, you could. You wouldn't be able to use it again, but you could put it in there. I don't know what to tell all of you. I want you guys to tell me. It'd be, I tell you what, it would be such a wonderful difference for me if somebody was telling me funny things instead of me doing it the other way around. I'm thinking about going ahead and interviewing my granddaughter maybe next weekend. She really wanted to be on, and I promised she would be. And I don't think that she would be uh, boring at all. She's a beautiful girl. She's as tall as me, which that gives you some idea. I'm not short, but it's still hard to reach the top shelf. I'll put it that way. I got to climb a little. Ever see those little shots that they take at Walmart and somebody's climbed up, or really at the box stores? You know, they climbed up 3 or 4 of the tiers and the whole thing falls down. I done that. He didn't fall, but it was a close thing. Basically, I think I was once told I have no filters, and I like that too. You know, free will is free will. If you have to put all those other faces on too, it's not free will or free speech or free anything. It's all false. So I've never gotten that either. I don't get it. But the rest of it I do. I've enjoyed watching LADAR come out and finding out that they had, I think they estimated 60,000 new cities in Guatemala. Still covered by vegetation, of course. But what the heck happened here, folks? There's pyramids on every continent, and they're finding more and more and more. Why did China cover theirs up to try to make it look like a hill? You know, I mean, it's like, ruin me that bad, man. What the, and on one of those, which I think they say would be or would make it the largest found pyramid, is in China. And it's where they actually found the terracotta warriors at. If I'm sure everyone's familiar with that, hopefully. If not, again, Google it. I don't throw the links in there. I keep waiting to let you guys do the comments, and then maybe later on I'll start throwing links in when we find out which audience wants what, or if the audience just wants everything like I do. But when they found these terracotta warriors, it was an accident too. This is farming land, and of course they ran into it. And each one is distinct, and it's completely different. That was Pixie again. She doesn't want to get shot again, but she's kind of considerate. And yes, she went on over to her bed. We are looking at what you're seeing is the back into the living room. I'm seeing the bar and this. I have a suit of armor. It's over here too. That's why this was kind of weird. I have an Egyptian shelf full of stuff of Egyptian pieces that I've picked up. My husband knows that I love medieval times, and he found me. I couldn't believe it, but he found me a suit of armor. It turned out the Medieval Knights Hotel was closing down, and there was only one left. And he happened to see it in a window. I don't know if it's second fruit or whatever. I don't usually ask. But anyway, he brought that home. That was the best thing I'd seen in 40 years. I love this thing. I actually had one person ask if I wore it. I forgot about that one. I would, but it's too short. It's like about 5 inches too short, and it doesn't come apart. Of course, it's not articulated too. It's very light, probably made of tin. But I just love that piece. And when we were at the Scottish Rites Festival at Stone Mountain over in Georgia, um, I, we had my tartan on and all that. Robert does not wear a kilt, no. He does the chieftain thing, and I'll do the Scottish thing. So they wanted quite a bit for this particular sword. I wanted Robert to have it, and it was the sword or a replica of the sword that William Wallace used. A big sword. Um, and it was called, I think they called them a claymore back in those days. And anyway, it's a sword that's about as tall as he is. And they wanted a lot more for it than I really wanted to pay. And so I said, well, I'll think about it. And then they looked at my tartan and they went, wait a minute, you're part of our clan. And I said, well, I'm adopted. I'm just getting used to these things. It doesn't matter. You're a clan member. What would you like to pay for this? And I was like, you know, I couldn't tell you that because I don't want to lowball anybody either. I don't know what they got into it. And well, you have to give us a figure. We're just going to give it to you for $1. Of course, I couldn't have that either. Of course, I really probably should have, but I couldn't do that either. But we'll say I paid a very small amount for what it was priced for. And it stands in Lancelot. I call my suit of armor Sir Lancelot. So he's holding this sword that comes right up almost to the plume of his helmet. So I have fun doing stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm old. I've got good insurance. I do what I want and do. I thought to myself, I bet you I could be a comedian. Anybody can be a comedian as long as they don't go up there and do anything until everybody's had 5 or 6 drinks. You walk on stage, you'd be funny. I mean, I see. Cat Williams is another one like Chevy Chase. He does a lot of pratfalls and sliding across the floor and stuff. And, I mean, he's so cool, but he's not a young chicken either. Not anymore. And it's just as good looking as he's ever been. And it's the same crazy, wonderful guy. And I wonder to this day how I didn't catch on that I wasn't seeing him. Again, I was busy for about 25 years there, so I kind of missed that he wasn't. I think he was probably doing stand up, but at the smaller places. But in any event, he's a very active one too when he's telling his jokes. And if he weren't doing the I don't know, they're not really pratfalls, but if he weren't so into it all the way, the joke wouldn't be as funny. And I see my kitty has found something else she wants to mess with. So Lancelot is never to be messed with. We don't want him to activate. So you lay down, little girl. She's a teenager for a cat. And apparently a teenager is a teenager. Now we've rescued, this is a cat sanctuary as well, I call it. So we've rescued a lot of them. Um, and I'm going to throw an appeal out there again. If you are seeing this on YouTube, if you are in Augusta, put a comment in the line if you would like to adopt, and they would be free if you want to adopt one, to give them a forever home. I will go out and we will buy the cage where they call it a trap and release. They go in, they can't get out, but you can do a little tigger and then they can come out. But then we would do that so that they would have forever homes because we found no organization in almost 2 years now that not only won't help, but you can't even speak to them about how you would go about getting help. And I thought about this and I said, they're always wanting you get to the donation part. And I'm wondering how I get somebody on the phone because I'm going to have this estate sale with thousands of dollars. And she was a cat lady. See if I can get somebody on the phone. Say, look, what do you people do with this money? I got cats that would starve to death right now, and we really can't afford it. We're on fixed incomes, and the bills are not fixed. Our light bill went up, our gas bill went up, our water bill went up, our food bill goes up, everything. The government just keeps adding more to us. And at this point, I just want a tiny house in Texas. I mean, where you could hang four things and own two pairs of shoes. Robert would love that if that's all I had. I have 400 books or something like that as well. I have some that are several hundred years old, and that's not the problem. The problem is they weigh a ton, and those all had to be taken up to my office, and we haven't even attacked that office yet. He had all of this done almost a year ago, and he had finally retired just before the holidays. And like I had said earlier, if you're retired, you know what I mean. It means oh, they got time to do everything they was going to do at home. No, it don't. It means you're retired, you ain't doing nothing. I mean, what's that TV? Did you check Netflix movies today? I mean, I'm not doing nothing because it's such a novel thing to get up and go. I don't go work for that creep no more for that $3.50 an hour. Hallelujah! There's a bar in here. We got something to celebrate. I mean, I'm going to try if I can. Again, I'm going to remind you. I'm going to try to get. I'm going to try to drop one in the box where I interview my granddaughter. Her name is Zoe. She's beautiful. And definitely throw some likes out there. This is a kid. I'll let y'all know ahead of time before I put her on mic. Then there's another gentleman who has done 5 tours of active duty in the field, and he trains people. His son went into service at the same time as my son, and they are now roommates. And both have left the army and are doing civilian positions as civil servants. No, that's right. My grandson is now being trained as a mechanic. He went for that way. In any event, we got to meet his roommate's father, the one that's has like 5 Purple Hearts. I mean, the guy is amazing, and only in his middle 40s. He's not very old. But he trains them, and he won't go and let them go. Whoever he trains, that company he trains, or whatever it does, he goes with them when they go to the field. Um, and that's rough. I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I served during peacetime. I would have done what I was required to do. But I can see very well how you could come home with things like PTSD. It's not an easy thing to do at all. Um, to think of staring in somebody's face and having to kill them. Everybody says, "Oh, it's easy," and I joke about it. And I say, I shoot that guy come through that window and drag him away in. And actually, I'm not kidding. I mean, I'm from Chicago. We don't fight fair, but I made a joke out of it. But at the same time, your grandson's now serving. North and South Korea are getting real bitchy, and you don't know what's up with that. And at this point, he's almost or he's coming home shortly, shortly, shortly. He's scooting out of there like a week before they put us on lockdown for the pandemic. So he was a lucky boy. He was a lucky, lucky boy, and his friend as well. So they, ended up back here because his father was active duty, hadn't come in yet from his tour. Um, Neither of them are 16. They're 25-year-old men, so they need daddy to be home. I like his friend Seth. They call him Seth. His name is Christian Seth. I like both names, but I was introduced to Seth. So I wanted to interview his father as well to show what a veteran goes through, and in particular, in his case, of being literally, he was shot every time he went. So he'd been shot 5 times. I don't know how I could talk myself going back for the 6th one, but I admire the man greatly. He's very nice, very cordial. He's here to train another group to take out there and to be with his son a little bit before he goes. And we met him because his son came with my grandson to his dad's house, my son's home, to do Christmas dinner. And that's how we all met. And it was a great night. It was a lot of fun. Mind you, it was just only 8 or 9 of us, 10 of us maybe, but we had a really good time. And my husband had invited him over. He's not our age. We do have friends that are below 50, but not many. Usually those are the ones we're telling how to do stuff. But we want him to come over and take some time out, sit down, have a drink at the bar. And I'd like to open that Scottish whiskey or bourbon whiskey. What did he get? I think it's Scotch, aged 12-year-old Scotch. It's Glenlivet. There it is. So I don't want to open that till my grandson is here and somebody else is driving because we'd just throw him upstairs and put him to bed. We don't. He wake up later. But yeah, I want to get that. And invite this young man, Mike is his name, his father's name, so that he's not just train, 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 sleep, train, 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 sleep. I remember those days, honey. Oh God, I still didn't miss the NCO club and dancing away till 2. I'm just saying, you can burn both ends of the candle when you're 20, but when you're 25 and you're looking 30, it's time to blow one out. But I see my time is running out. And as Carol Burnett used to say, I'm glad we had this time together. So like, subscribe, tickle the little bell, guys. Every little bit helps. I love everybody out there. Appreciate all of you who listen. If again you do see it, try to take the time out. You can even do it on the TV. I'm learning. And until then, have a great day. Stay safe and watch out for the idiots.